Okay, Coach, well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play fake. Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's going to be a long day. Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
You must be getting tired of seeing this.
Get it.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Levante David in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Ready, 47 is the mic. Watch it, flip it. Watch the screen. Check 3.
On 1st and 10, Winston. That's caught by Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Buccaneers, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Get out the field, defense. Green, Timothy.
Winston now. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
From the gun, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. And getting our first update now from Nashville. The Bills have taken the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st down, Saints.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Got it.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, New Orleans. Saquon Barkley, 33 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Wait. I smell fear now.
Now Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Now Winston. He's got Evans. A big 30-yard play on third.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He finds his target. It's Evans.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up.
Ready. Blue lady. Watch around. Wait, that. The south, baby. That's baby south.
Again, it's Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I got you.
Jameis again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air again with Winston. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Cameron Jordan able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Winston. He lets this one fly toward the back. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw, Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Winston. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Check 53. Let's set it tall, fellas. Let's set it tall. Now.
This time, Wilson will throw. And his throw is incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Wilson. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Ready.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. Winston. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. Give him 52 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
First carry for Central Florida alum, Latavius Murray. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And this one complete to Smith. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Ready? 280. 58. Come on. Double dog. Double dog. That's the way.
Off the play fake. Winston. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And now it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, stop. Yeah, it's Mike. Here we go. Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there. 54 yards as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they...
It's caught inside the 25. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
He's coming. We got double up. You draw quarter.
Play action. Now Wilson. And incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Wilson throwing again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter in Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. So now third and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Single, slot, go.
Again, Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. The last run got 6, now second and 4. To throw is Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Intended for Tavon Austin. Incomplete. Eli Apple on the cover.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And give them a gain of 37.
First down, Saints.
Here we go.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Murray. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Barkley. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And an alley to run. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And to give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they try the right side here. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
You ain't got nothing.
Green, triple team. Safety's creeping. White. 57's the mic. Watch 57.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Jameis to throw it. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Wilson operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Let's go. 50, plant. Mike, 45. Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Got a man, Slayton. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On the run, it's Barkley. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slow them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field and inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Got it? 53. 53. Mike. Wild Bill. Check. Crunch. 80 weapon.
They go play action with Wilson. Being chased out left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And Lutz puts this one through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Let's go, baby. Turn over. Get that ball.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They begin with a run by Barkley. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was the veteran Devin McCourty who got a hand in there to break that one up.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Catch made by Slayton. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Saquon Barkley, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. From the 24, Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Here's Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Winston. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Room here to run. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter, and don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
On the ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he's into the clear. The 40. Past the 20. 10. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bucs have taken the lead. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Now Winston. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and 7 at the 10-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the 4th quarter now. And the Titans dominant. They have added to their totals in that one. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't.
Now Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
He's back to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Jordan Reed has it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Ready, break.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Buccaneers, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.